Okay, so the second thing we're going to do is we're going to use the half angle identities given a ratio. So the question will look something like this: find sine x over 2 given cosine x equals 7 over 25, and the angle is in quadrant 1. Okay, so this one is not too bad because we're already given cosine, and since we're in quadrant 1, we know that it's going to be positive. Okay, so again, this one's pretty simple. Here's my half angle identity for sine. Okay, and then this one, I don't even have to draw a triangle because they gave me cosine. So again, find your common denominator, simplify. Okay, 25 minus 7, that's 18. 25 all over 2. Invert and multiply, simplify again. Now what you might want to do is like that, because you get 9 over 25 square root 3 fourths. Isn't that cool? All right, let's try another one. So find cosine of x over 2 given sine x is equal to negative 12 over 37 in quadrant 4. Okay, so since x lives in quadrant 4, okay, question is, where does x over 2 live? Okay, if you start out in quadrant 1, everything's easy. Okay, but if you're in another quadrant, you kind of have to do some figuring. Okay, so quadrant 4 is 270 degrees to 360, correct? Okay, so now if I divide everybody by 2, I get that. So what quadrant's that? This is quadrant 2. Okay, so that's going to help. Okay, now, so we need to think of what else we need. Okay, so cosine of x over 2 is equal to positive or negative the square root of 1 plus cosine of x all over 2. We are in quadrant 2, which means cosine of x over 2 will be negative. Okay, now what else do I need? Looks like I need cosine of x. Okay, now remember, I'm in quadrant 4 if I'm talking about x, and I'm in quadrant 2 if I'm talking about x divided by 2. It's very important that you don't get that confused. Okay, so let's draw my triangle. So negative 12, whoops. Okay. Negative 12, 37. Okay, so let's find my missing side. Okay. So 37 squared. And then we subtract. We take the square root. And we get 35. Now looking at your triangle and noticing that you're in quadrant 4, we know our x value will be positive. So our cosine value will be 35 over 37. Okay, now we're ready to go. Okay, again, we know we're going to be negative because x over 2 is in that quadrant 2. Finding your common denominator, again, I hope you're noticing that most of this is simplifying. So go slow. Okay, 37 plus 35, let's see, that would be 72 over 37, divided by 2, negative. Okay, so that would be 72 over 37 times 1/2, which, if I reduce, gives me negative 36 over 37. Okay, so again, we have to rationalize that denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this to 6 over the square root of 37. Got to rationalize it. Now, some calculators will rationalize for you. So if your calculator does that, feel free to use it. And there we go. Okay. All right. So I hope that was helpful. And the next video will cover equal